Can you imagine taking your first property under contract while traveling Europe? That is exactly what this associate did. Hey everybody, I'm Zachary Beach with smartrealestatecoach.com. Welcome to another Deal Structure Sunday. We're going to dive into a fantastic deal here. Definitely hits our averages, but it is our associate Roger, who's down in Atlanta, Georgia. He's a starter associate with us, and he got his first deal while traveling in Europe. Just an absolute fantastic story. So I wanted to spotlight him today. So Roger, welcome.
Thanks, Zach. I am Roger Campbell. I live here in Atlanta, and I started the Smart Real Estate coaching program back in about, I'd say May. Really got serious about it in about September. Went to QLS and got the fire lit under me with the presentations we had. It was totally awesome. And came back and just hit the phones. And so dialed and kept myself motivated with those motivational, I think it's Mondays, and reading, and finally had this call on about April 8th, where I made a contact that it didn't seem like a big deal at the time, but as we go through this, you'll see how it came together fast.
Yeah, awesome. And let's even take a step back, because me and you work together a lot. And before we got this property under contract, you were kind of going through some frustrations, right? I remember speaking to you multiple times on your weekly calls. So can you just kind of bring some light to people that are been making a lot of dials, haven't seen the results that they want just yet, but do you have anything you can tell to them about, kind of staying persistent, because that's exactly what you did.
Yeah, so I encountered a lot of frustration, especially when you make some calls and you do the numbers and you see no results, or you talk to this one person who just want to take you to the shed and beat the hell out of you, So, and I remember you advised me just walk away, do some steps, do something, and get back into it. And so I followed that advice. But I have this little thing after trying to motivate myself and talking to you on our weekly meetings, and it was, keep the pump going. So it's like if you're pumping water with those old pumps, and it gets up to the top and the water start flowing. If you stop at that point, the water is going to go down, and you have to start all over. So I use that to say I just kept going regardless of the results, just kept making those calls. And the other thing, Zach, as you remember, was the scripts, to get that script down. And so we went through these exercises for you to review my scripts and critique, and we applied that ACA, and just modified it. And over time, I started getting better responses. And so it was almost predictable that was going to happen sooner or later. I'd get someone to say yes.
Yeah, absolutely, Roger. I mean, it's definitely a testament to your persistence. And if people don't know, the ACA that he's referring to is action, critique, adjust, action again. Is a simple process that we follow. Me personally, and all the students and associates, it's a great way to make progress. And Roger is a testament to that. And Roger, you've been doing this on the side. It's not like you're a full-time real estate investor. So what do you do for a living?
That is correct. So I work my 9 to 5. Well, like 8 to 4 is as an IT manager. Here in the city of Atlanta. And so my commute in the mornings is about 30 minutes, and the evenings is about 50 minutes if things go well, right? And so I'm a morning person, but I can't make calls in the morning. So I have to get home, and carve out a half-hour space and make adjustments over time to make sure I make at least 10 to 20, 25 calls so that I'm getting those sellers in the funnel. So it's most of my activity is on Saturday and Sunday. So that's when I knock out most of my calls, and then I do my follow-ups during the week and my call with Zach, mastermind calls. So it's a full week. But one of the things, Zach, that I did at the beginning of this is to eliminate pretty much everything else and just focus on this one thing. Because I wasn't doing this to fail. I was doing this to succeed. And so, because I saw where if after you fine tune this process, it's something you can do indefinitely without much effort, right? Once the scripts are perfected or you get comfortable with speaking to people, it's a no-brainer. So I wanted to make sure I spent the time to perfect these and to improve and get this going in a way that I'm very comfortable with.
Awesome. So you heard it right from the horse's mouth, everyone. Roger is going against his normal paradigms of not being a night person to make calls, but he's still doing what he has to do on top of his full-time job, on top of commuting. It's just, again, I applaud you for staying persistent and continuing to dive in there. And there was just some great nuggets involved in there. So I hope everybody's taking notes on how to stay consistent and to eliminate all of the other things if you want to be successful.
Yep.
So, Roger, let's dive into this deal here. Why don't we start with, and what I'll do is I'll screen share. That way everyone can see the paydays and we'll walk through them. But let's start with, the source of this lead and maybe a little background on the seller. That way we can kind of dive a little deeper into it.
Okay. So this lead came from my VA. It was an expired. Talking to the seller, they had bought this house and I think they with the intention of flipping it. So they put in about 75 grand and they tried to get it sold for almost a year. And they couldn't get it sold in a way where they could get back their $75,000. So when I spoke to the seller, they understood what we were doing, and I didn't make much of it. I spoke to him, and the next day I sent him a sample offer that we usually draw, just an example of what it would look like. And obviously he liked it, but this is a funny story. So just showing serendipity. So I went to visit this other seller south of Atlanta and took pictures, met someone who was representing the seller, and was on my way back home. So it was about 6:30. I was at the exit, like about 300 yards from the exit where I would have to take to go to this guy's house. And the phone rang and he was on the phone saying, "Are you going to visit my house? We never made any arrangement." So in my mind, I was like, okay, if he wants me to come to his house, I'm right at the exit, then this was meant to be. So I just moved over and took the exit and went to his house and walked through. It was clean, and explained it to him again. He was comfortable with it, and we took it from there.
That is serendipitous. What a chain of events there. That's fantastic. I know these sellers were actually two brothers, and this was a VRBO at one point in time. So, and I just don't think that they could get, like you were saying, they just couldn't get their price. So we were able to tag team this while you were traveling. I think you wrote up the agreement while you were in Europe. So let's dive into the numbers here.
Yeah.
So it looks like if we put together these numbers here, it looks like bought the property for 485,
Uh,
485,000.
no,
Oh no,
that's what
actually,
they were asking.
okay, they were
So they,
asking 485.
yeah, they were asking for 485, and we negotiated 472,027, and over 3 years, and they agreed. And I just want to make a little note about this this Europe thing, because it's really actually big, right? So I was on vacation with my wife. We would go all day and come home, and I'd see your message, and I would sit down and start working on stuff, for an hour. I had internet available, and then you would take it, review it, and you would communicate with the seller, and we would go back and forth. We did that for about a week, Zach, to get the deal done. And this is just to highlight the type of support that we as associates get, right? Guys, I was in Europe on vacation, and the deal did not skip a beat. Everything was set by the time I got home to get the DocuSign documents. So thanks, Zach. That was awesome.
Well, it's 100% you. You set the deal up. All I had to do is just get them to the finish line. So I love being on vacation and getting deals done. So congrats, Rod. You've been working hard. So let's dive back into the deal here.
Okay.
All right. So we negotiated. It looks like we got off about $12,000. So we got the purchase price of 472,027.
Yes.
After me, you and Nick spoke, we decided that the sales price would be 509.
That is correct.
And then, so we bought it for 472. We sold it for 509. Now, and then let's just look at here. So there's an existing mortgage of 377.
Yeah.
So the locked in equity for the seller. And then the monthly principal pay down. So locked in equity for the seller is right here, guys. It's 94,919. That's what the seller is locking in today. Yep. We are getting the principal pay down benefit of about $600 a month as of now. We made that projection as of now because everybody knows the principal is going to go down on that mortgage over the next 2 to 3 years. Mm-hmm. And I believe it was for a 36-month term.
That is correct.
Awesome. So we're making some projections here. We're doing it based on 2 years. So Roger, walk us through the highlighted blue. So what would the payday number one be?
So the payday number one would be a 5% down payment estimate here, and that's $25,450. So
that's a nice down payment for you.
Yep.
And on average, we get between 3 and 10%. It doesn't mean that full 5% is going to happen right now, but the area that it's located and the demand on it, it would be, especially at the purchase price, $25K is definitely a reasonable down payment on that.
Yep.
All right, payday number two. So the spread that we're getting each and every month is over on 19. So it's 339 is the projected spread on the month every month. So if you multiply that out, you're going to get looks like $12,193 as your payday number two.
That's correct.
That 300, the 300 to 400 range is definitely, you're right on track for the average associate deal here. I'd say on average it falls between $300 and $400.
Right.
So that's a fantastic spread for you. And then payday number three, which is the additional increase or premium on the property plus the mortgage pay down.
Right.
Looks like another 32,000.
Yep.
So total 70,226.92. Not bad for 3 paydays while you're traveling in Europe.
Oh, no, not at all. This just is just a motivation to go out there and keep doing this, because it shows that there are sellers with faced with situations that we can readily solve. We have the solutions for. And so this is a motivation to continue to do this, and I'm pumped.
Yeah, Roger, I just want to congratulate you on your fantastic first deal. Super proud of you. You've come so far. So congratulations again, and I look forward to seeing many of your deals.
Yeah, Zach, I have to say thanks to you also, and to the community at large. They're always there. The support is just there, and it's really like a family affair. So I don't have any reservations asking questions, and I always get a response. So I'm very happy about that. And this is a match made in heaven.
That's awesome. Well, everybody, I'm glad that we were able to bring Roger, another fantastic member of our community, out there doing deals. As you guys can see, we are a community that actually gets deals done, and we do it no matter however we got to do it, whether we're negotiating deals while the associate like Roger is in Europe, we're tag teaming this. No matter what, we figure out a way to get it done. That way, each and every one of our community members is successful. Now, everybody, if you are enjoying these Deal Structure Sundays and you're receiving it on the emails, go ahead and comment and reply to the email. We'd love to answer any questions that you have associated with this deal. If you're on Facebook, please go ahead, comment, like, share, pass this along. If you're on YouTube and you're enjoying these Deal Structure Sundays, I highly recommend that you subscribe, because each and every Sunday you get to meet another member of the community that is doing deals, and it's just a testament of each and every one of their hard work and perseverance. So thanks again. Enjoy another beautiful Sunday.